Welcome back. This video is actually the third in a series of Git videos that I'm making for this channel. If you haven't already seen the previous two videos, I'd recommend watching those beforehand in order to fully understand the topic that we're going to cover in this video. Enjoy. Git! I told you I would do that in every video. What have I done? This is another video for the Git mini-series that I'm creating for my channel to help you fully understand Git and how to properly use it. In the previous videos, we covered that Git is a version control system and in fact the industry standard. We covered the initial basic commands like add and commit. And in the last video, we talked about branching and why it is so powerful and useful. Finally, it's the video that I'm sure you've all been waiting for. The moment where we realize why branching is so powerful because of the component of bringing those branches back together. Bringing that code, that experimental feature code, for example, that you've been working on in a safe environment, isolated environment, and bringing it back to your code base, your main code base, once you're happy with it. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to want to strap yourselves in for this one, because this is the video that we finally cover the interesting topic of merging. Let's do this. Hi there folks, my name is Ben and welcome back to the channel. As usual, if you're a fan of what I do on this channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, and if you enjoy this video, please hit that like button. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Git merging. As an overview, merging is the process that takes two isolated branches that are obviously safe and away from each other and merges them back together, brings both of their code sets, both of their changes back into one main stream. As you can see on my screen now, I've got this nice image that I've pulled up from a Stack Overflow page that visually illustrates the merging process much better than I could explain it. You can see that we've got blue nodes, which represent one branch, and green nodes, which represent another. And you can see from left to right, the history going up. There was a branching off here at this point, and two branches were formed. And at this point here, it's basically the opposite of branching. It's coming back together. It's merging those two things back together so that all of the code that's both in the isolated branch and both in your main normal branch are back into one area. And of course, there's this relatively famous GIF on the internet of two armies clashing that represents a Git merge process. It's a metaphor for the perceived complexity of merging, and of course the fact that the two armies are literally running into the same space as each other. They sort of represent something called conflicts, which occur when merging, that we're going to cover later in this video. And of course, conflicts are the things that scare people when it comes to merging. But hopefully after you've seen this video, you will be completely confident doing your own Git merges, and especially from the terminal. And if you were to cause any conflicts during your merges, you'll be able to resolve them. Of course, with anything that I do in this Git series, I always try and provide links so that you can read up more or learn more on your own. And in the description down below, there's another link to the git-scm page, and in particular the git merge command, which we're going to use in a minute in this video. It explains absolutely everything with some fantastic diagrams with lots of explanation. There's even a section in here on how conflicts are presented and how to resolve conflicts, but we're going to cover that as well in this video in a second. So hopefully the idea, or the theory at least, of merging as a concept makes sense. The idea of bringing two separate branches or separate areas of code and bringing them together. So let's head into the terminal and have a little look at this. A very quick recap of where we're up to in our own repository. We have two branches, the master and the feature branch. Remember, the feature branch was called the other branch back at the start, and we renamed it at the end of the last episode. The feature branch, which we're currently on because the asterisk shows me that we're on the feature branch. If I do the git log command, you can see that there are 4 commits there. From newest to oldest, the rubbish commit, the here is the other commit, and so on. If I just check out into master, I'm going to clear the screen and we're going to do a git log in master. You can see that there's only 2 commits. So we made master, we made 2 commits in master, we branched away from master, and then we made 2 new commits on top of that. So if you like, master has 2 commits and the feature branch has 4 commits. Again, if none of that makes sense to you, please check out my previous 2 videos. They will clear things up. Merging is incredibly important because it actually makes the concept of branching actually useful. If you just branched and left those 2 code bases, those 2 code sections and code areas independent of each other, that's rubbish. You need to somehow bring this experimentation code or this issue fixing code or whatever this is, you need to somehow eventually bring this back into your main code base, into your master branch perhaps, when you're happy with the changes. There are two types of merges that can happen. A fast forward merge, which is a nice, incredibly easy merge, and then a true merge, which is sometimes easy, sometimes not. First of all, let's look at the fast forward merge. A fast forward merge is really simple. Basically, you can imagine a fast forward merge as though the branch that is being merged into is just fast forwarding. It's catching up with what it's missed. So for example, in our case, we have the master branch, which had 2 commits, and then we branched away and created a feature branch, and we made 2 new commits on top of that. Master branch over here hasn't changed at all. So if we were to merge feature into master, it would just be a matter of taking those 2 new commits that master doesn't have and popping them on top. And that's a fast forward merge, and that's incredibly simple. Let's see that in action. So you can see I'm on the master branch right now. I'm going to type in the command git merge and space, and then the name of the branch that I want to merge into where I am, okay? So where I am is the master branch, and the one that I want to bring in, the one that I want to pull in the changes of, the one that I want to merge into the master branch is the one that I'm going to specify as the parameter of this command now. So git merge feature, okay? And watch what happens. Git merge feature, I hit enter. You can see it says there fast forward, and it says 2 files changed. It tells me what's changed. It says 2 insertions, these plus, so each file abc.txt and notes.txt have got 1 line added into them, so it's kind of useful information. And that's it. That's a merge. If I just clear the screen and do a git log now whilst we're on master, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 commits. Master has just sort of caught up with what the feature branch was up to. It's important to note that a fast forward merge will only happen when the branch that was branched away from hasn't changed in the time that the new branch has changed. And in every other merge scenario, a brand new commit would be generated from the merge, except for in a fast forward merge, where no new commits are needed because it's essentially that branch catching up with what it's missed. Now let's look at the other type, a true merge. A true merge can either be immediately successful or have conflicts. I'm going to look at both situations now. I'm going to set up the scenario for a true merge to occur. We have 2 branches, the master and the feature branch, and at the moment they're both up to date with 4 commits each. I'm going to now edit the notes.txt file. And in it, I'm just going to go to the bottom and add another line. I'm going to just put blah, 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 save and quit. I'm going to use my normal git status command that we've learned in the previous episodes to check the status of my repository. I'm going to use git add and dot to add my changes to the cookie basket, and git commit with a message of added another bottom line. Okay, I'm going to clear the screen. I'm going to quickly git log to show you that on top of the rubbish commit now is a new commit. And of course we are inside of the branch master. I'm going to check out back over to the feature branch, and I'm going to also change the notes.txt file in the feature branch. And I'm going to just change this first line up here. I'm going to add a new line. In fact, I'm just going to go, here is a brand new first line. I'm going to save and quit. I'm going to git status, always use git status to see the status of your repository. I'm going to git add dot, git status again just to check, and then git commit with the message of added brand new first line, and enter. I'm going to clear the screen and git log now to show you that above the rubbish commit inside the feature branch, we have the brand new first line commit. I'm going to check out back into master because I want that to be the branch that we are merging into. And now I'm going to cause a successful true merge by using again just the git merge command and specifying the branch that I want to bring in, which of course again is the feature branch. Now let's see what happens. I immediately hit enter and something's happened. It's loaded me into my commit message editor. In my case, it's Vim that's specified. And it's auto-populated with some text. It says merge branch feature. So it's literally just telling me what I've done. And this is because this true merge has been successful. There's not been any conflicts. I would already know about it if there was conflicts, and you'll see that in a second. It would tell me clearly if there's conflicts. But as I said, with all other merge types except for the fast forward one that we did, you know, the one where it's just catching up, for all other merge types, like a true merge, it will create a brand new commit of the two sort of code sources together in one commit that have been merged together. And it auto-populates, as you can see, with a merge message in there. And then, of course, you can add your own merge message. You're just creating basically a brand new commit that will have the two branches merged together. So I'm just going to add in here successful, can't spell, successful merge, yay. I'm going to save and quit, and that's it. And now we can see when we did the git merge, we can see what actually happened behind the scenes. Auto merging, a merge, it doesn't say fast forward anywhere because this is a now normal true merge. And it says merge made by the recursive strategy. The notes file has had one line added to it, and that's it, and a merge was successful. If I clear the screen and do git log, you'll see now that there's the rubbish commit right at the bottom, and above that we have two commits, added another bottom line, which is the one that we did in master or feature, I've forgotten which one, and the one above it added brand new first line. So there are two commits that we just made, and then right above it, the merge commit, which is sort of the combination of the two commits smashed together, safely smashed together with our commit message, which was merge branch feature, successful merge, yay. Okay, so let's actually look now at the notes file and see what it looks like. Here we go. So this is our notes file, and you can see both changes from the separate branches are in here. We have this first line, which was the brand new first line, and of course we have the blah 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 line, the brand new bottom line. And that's it. We've done a successful true merge. Okay, enough of this easy stuff. Let's make some conflicts happen. I'm going to show you now a unsuccessful true merge that resolves in conflicts appearing. The way that a git merge works is essentially a line-by-line check. Git compares line 1 to line 1 and says, is there any problems there? Can they merge correctly together? And in most cases, in a successful true merge, like the one we've just seen with the notes.txt file, that would be fine because the brand new first line didn't conflict with a brand new change in the first line here. It was fine just to sort of slot in. And the brand new bottom line, again, didn't conflict with any changes, so was fine to slot in, and they merged successfully and fine. Conflicts occur when, for example, line 1 has been changed in one branch and line 1 has been changed in the other branch, and we try and do a merge then. This merging together, they conflict, they literally hit each other. They can't resolve, and a conflict occurs. And it's basically Git saying, hey, I have no idea which one you want to keep because you've changed both of them. And this unfortunately requires user intervention. So you have to solve these conflicts. However, I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. And in fact, I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can do it. Okay, now I'm going to create the conditions for a conflict to occur so we can see it and see how to resolve it in 3 different ways. For this example, I'm going to forget about the feature branch and we're going to create a new branch to conflict with. I'm currently on the master branch and I'm going to use the checkout-b command to check out and create a brand new branch at the same time. And we're going to call this one conf, okay, for conflict, conf. So I'm going to branch away from master a brand new branch called conf. And we're already in that branch. Let me clear the screen and hit git branch. You can see we're on conf. And conf, because we branched away from master just now, has the exact same repository history as master does, okay? It's the exact same. You can see the top commit is the merge commit that we just did in the true merge. Now I'm going to make a change. I'm going to change the ABC file and I'm going to change the word new. So this is a new file. I'm going to change this is a interesting file. Okay, I'm going to save it and I'm in the, just remind myself, I'm in the conf branch. I'm going to git add dot git commit and I'm going to call this commit interesting so we can just keep track of that. Okay, I've committed. I'm going to clear the screen. I'm going to get status, everything is fine, and I'm going to git log. I'm in the conf branch and that interesting commit is at the top. I'm going to now check out back to master and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to edit the ABC file, and where the word new is, I'm going to change it to be old in capital letters. I'm going to save it. I'm going to git status just to make sure I constantly check the status of my repository. I'm going to git add add all the changes to my into the staging area. I'm going to git commit -m with the message old. Okay, so let's clear the screen. We've branched away from master. We've done one commit in the conf branch, which changes that exact same line as the one that we've done in the new commit in master. So they both change the same file, the exact same line. We're going to try and merge them together now and cause a conflict. Okay, so I'm in the master branch. I'm going to do git merge conf to bring in the changes from conf, and let's see what happens. Immediately, it says conflict in big capital letters. You cannot miss it. This has been an unsuccessful true merge. The merge hasn't done. It's not finished. It's not been completed. It's in this sort of limbo state. Okay. It says merge conflict in abc.txt, so it tells you which files that there are merge conflicts in. It says abc.txt is the problem, and it says what to do. It says to fix the conflicts and then commit the result. So that's Git telling you what you have to do in order to get past this sort of merge limbo state, if you like. Before I show you how to resolve the conflicts, I'm going to show you this really important command, which is git merge -- abort. What that does is when you are in this conflict state like we're in now, we try to merge and we've got conflicts and a merge has not been successful. There has not been a new merge commit. You can see at the top here, there's not been a new merge commit created because the merge hasn't been successful. We can use git merge -- abort. And what that does is just say, actually, forget that merge, cancel it, stop it, put it back to how it was before I tried the merge. So we're going to do that right now. I've done it. I'm going to do git status, everything's clean, git log, there's the old commit right at the top, and we're not in a limbo state of conflicts anymore. Git merge -- abort lets you stop any merge that's in process that has currently been halted by conflicts arising. However, we actually want to deal with the conflicts and move forward. So let's do git merge conf again, and let's try the merge again. Again, we have the same message, the conflict, the ABC file. Let's actually have a look at what the ABC file looks like in a conflict state. And this will show you something quite interesting. Okay? Remember, there was one line in the ABC file, okay? And now you can see that there's all sorts of lines going on. What Git does when it finds conflicts is it puts in these wonderful conflict markers. They're called conflict markers, and they look like a bunch of chevrons to the left, a bunch of chevrons to the right, a bunch of equal signs, and a bunch of bar signs, okay? And they will section out certain areas of that file. So you can see from this conflict marker to this conflict marker is the heads version of the file. Remember, head, in fact, head we'll probably look at deeper in a future video, but head is basically just where I'm looking at right now. So head at this point relates to master. So this line here in between the conflict markers is master's version of the line, which is this is an old file, as we know. The one at the bottom, from this conflict marker to this conflict marker, in between that is confs. See, it says it right there at the end. Conf is the conf branches version of the line. You can see this is an interesting file. It's brought in both versions of the file. And in the middle, between this conflict marker and this conflict marker, is how the line was as a common ancestor for both. So before changes happened to both, how the line was previously. And this brings me on to option 1 of resolving conflicts. Option 1 of 3 of resolving conflicts is simply going into the conflicted file and editing it to be how you want it to be, saving and committing, and that's it. Exactly how Git told us to do it in the git merge command when it conflicted. So for option 1, I would simply delete everything that I don't want, keep what I do want, and save, and I'm done. So if I want to keep master's version of the changes, which is this is an old file, I would delete everything else, and that's it, and I would save and quit. Okay, and if we do a git status, you can see the sort of both modified. So both branches modified that file, and it's in a unstaged, it's in the working directory basically. It needs to be added and then committed. Again, let's just remind ourselves we've left in the line that we want, and for option 1 I can just do git add abc.txt, git, in fact let's look at git status of how that looks now, okay? And it's just telling us all conflicts fixed, but you're still merging. It even tells us we're still in this like limbo merging state, which is great. So all I need to do now is git commit, and of course I can add the message flag onto the end, but I want to show you what it looks like without the message flag. Git commit. Again, it auto fills that first line of the commit message with merge branch conf. It's really useful to keep those in so you can see when merges actually happened. And of course we can add our own part to the message, like selected the master version, which is a terrible commit message, but that's not what this video is about. It also shows you where conflicts occurred. I'm going to save and quit and done. I'm going to clear the screen, git log to show you what's happened now. In the git log, we've got from at the bottom of the screen here, where we did that successful true merge, we've got 3 new commits. The interesting commit that came from conf, the old commit that came from master, and right at the top, the merge commit that brought both of those changes together after we resolved the conflict. And of course, if I clear the screen and I show you the contents of the ABC file, it is of course the line that we chose and left and saved and committed and add. So option 1 is simply merge, and when conflicts happen, go into those files, change them to be how you want, and continue adding and committing to finish the merge process. Remember, of course, at any point you can git merge -- abort to cancel the merge and leave it how it was before you started the merge. So very quickly, off camera, I've just reset the master branch to be how it was before we did the merge of the conf branch into it just a moment ago, so that we can do another merge, the same merge exactly, and resolve the conflict in a different way. On to option 2, which is actually my favorite option, and it's to use something called git merge tool. And git merge tool is a tool that you use when you're trying to merge and conflicts have arisen. And it specifies a piece of software that you use as your merge tool. In the default case, and in my case, it's a tool called vimdiff. And if you hadn't already guessed it, it opens up Vim in a very particular way to help you resolve the conflicts. So I'm going to cause the conflict again by doing git merge and conf, trying to bring conf back into master. I get the same conflict message, and now instead of editing the file directly like in option 1, I'm going to use option 2 and trigger git merge tool, which triggers the piece of software called vimdiff. Okay, so I'm going to type in the command git merge tool. Okay, and it opens up a software called vimdiff, and obviously we are inside of Vim. It just has a bunch of different windows open, 4 windows to be precise, 3 along the top and 1 big long one at the bottom. To move between these windows, immediately I want to tell you it's Control W, and you can use arrow keys. So Control W followed by arrow key, Control W followed by arrow key, Control W, arrow key. And it shows us a couple of different things. In the top left window over here, it shows us the local, capital letters local. And this is our local version of the file. So where we are at the moment, where head is pointing at, and this is master. So this is master's version. This is the branch you're in, where head is pointing to. This is the master version of the file. In the top right, we have the capital letters remote version, and this is the remote one, the one that's far away. You can imagine it far away, which is the conf branch. So it's over there, we're in master, it's over there, it's the conf branch, the remote one. And it's the remote one, which is the conf branch, and it has, this is an interesting file, and it's just popped off screen a little bit there. And then in the middle, like we saw in between the conflict markers, we have the base, capital letters base. And this is the common ancestor of both changes before they actually changed. And finally, the long one at the bottom is the file that we're going to create after we've dealt with the conflicts. So like we did where we were just editing the file directly, we're editing a file here, but we can do it in a very special way. We can use the keys right square bracket and C to jump forward to the next conflict, and conflicts are represented in these big yellow blobs. And we can use the left square bracket and C to jump back to previous conflicts. So we can just jump, if we have multiple conflicts, we can just jump between them and deal with them as we go. And the way that we deal with them, of course, we are in Vim, so we can directly delete lines and edit it how we want it to be. Or we can use some fantastic commands, which is diffget, and then picking which of the 3 windows, which are the 3 options from the 3 windows at the top you want to bring in and keep. So let me show you. So if I wanted to keep the remote version, which is this is an interesting file, I would go to the conflict area, and I'm on it now. I would hit : to enter Vim's command mode, and I would type in diffget or diffg for short. You can use diffg for short. And then the first two letters of the variant that I want. So if I wanted local, I'd type capital L, capital O. If I wanted remote, like I do want, I'm going to type capital R, capital E. Now watch what happens if I hit enter. It's automatically taken for me the version from the top right and cleared out all of the conflict markers, which we'd have to do manually ourselves. And obviously it's got rid of the other versions that we don't want. Okay, I'm just going to undo and I'm going to do a different version. So colon to get to the command mode, diffg, and I'm going to pick the local version now with capital L, capital O. I'm going to hit enter and it's picked this is an old file from the top left. Okay, when I'm done with that, what I want to do is I want to save and close all the windows at once. So I'm going to colon, write with W, Q for quit, and then the word all together. So WQ all, okay? I'm going to hit enter and we're done. I clear the screen and I do git status now. You can see we're in the same sort of situation we were in after we manually edited the file and added it to the staging area. It says all the conflicts have been fixed, but you still need to, you're still merging, you're still in the limbo state. Use git commit to finish it. Okay, if I just show you the contents of the ABC file quickly, it is the master version, the local version that we chose. I'm going to just use git commit again to bring up the commit message editor. And of course, again, it's populated with this merge information, and I can now complete that with some more information if I want to. I'm just going to type in more capital letters, save and quit. A commit has been made. I'm going to clear the screen, git log, and show you, again, we have the interesting branch, the interesting commit, the old commit, and now right at the top, the merge commit of both that was created after we resolved the conflicts. Option 2, which is vimdiff, of course, is a fantastic tool. And again, I'm going to add another link in the description down below that has this page to it, which is a gist about resolving Git conflicts using Git merge tool, or more precisely, vimdiff. It shows you the layout like I just showed you in the video. It shows you controls of how to jump between windows and how the commands of diffget to select which variant you want to keep. It just explains everything, how to use it. It's really fantastic gist, so I'll link in the description down below. Please refer to that to help you use it. Again, in order to show you the final option, I've reset master to be how it was before we did the merge that we're trying to do with conf. And the third option for resolving conflicts is actually using a GUI to do it. Of course, it's not one that I personally endorse, and I'd much prefer to stay in the terminal, but I am aware that resolving conflicts is a pain and can be quite complicated. So using a GUI sometimes makes things a little bit more easier. And obviously GUIs also present things in often a much more nicer way with colors and spacing and all that kind of stuff to enable you to understand, oh yeah, I'm taking their version, I'm taking the remote version, or I'm keeping my version, I'm keeping the local version, and so on. So for this example, I'm going to use source tree as a Git GUI client. You can see I have the branches down the side, I have commits in the center, and I have all my pull, push, fetch, commit, merge, branch buttons along the top. Again, just as a reminder, the reason that I'm doing this whole Git series in the terminal is so that you know exactly what these GUIs are doing when you click that branch button, for example. You know what's happening behind the scenes. Anyway, I'm not going to go too deep into this, but to make a merge happen, I'm going to right click on conf and I'm going to merge conf into master, which is what we were doing in the terminal. Same command. I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to tell me merge conflicts. Again, Git's great in that it always tells you about conflicts happening, and that's really useful. I'm going to hit OK, I'm going to go up to my workspace in the top left here, the file status, and it's going to show me the conflicting files with a yellow warning triangle. Of course, ABC is the problem. And here you can see, again, those Git conflict markers that have been injected into the file and the different variations to pick from. I'm going to right click, I'm going to scroll down to resolve conflicts. Here, immediately, I can do some quick actions, which are quite useful. I can resolve using mine, or I can resolve using theirs, okay? So if I use resolve using mine, it's basically just going to take the local version, the master version, how it is now, where I am now. It's going to take that version, and it's going to write it to the file, and that's going to be it, and the job's going to be done. Or I can resolve using theirs, which is the remote version. I can basically just say, yeah, take theirs, stick it in, write it into the file, and we're done, okay? I don't need to do more than that. Or of course, I can launch external merge tool, and here we get another graphic representation of the local file, the remote file. You can see the words up here like they were in vimdiff, and the file that we're creating at the bottom. And I can do actions, choose left, choose right, etc. Depending on what GUI you're using, the conflicts will be represented in either a big red box or a yellow box or whatever color, but the conflicts will be obvious and you can go through resolving each one. So in this case, I'm going to choose left, which is, choose the local, choose the master, and I'm going to save and I'm going to close. After I've closed, you can see again that it's going to prompt me to write a commit message. Remember, all merges will resolve in a new commit being created except for fast forward merges. So here it's got the merge branch conf again. I'm just going to write blah blah as my commit message and I'm going to commit, and it will do the commit for me in the GUI. And that was option 3. So when you're doing a true merge and both the branch that was branched from and the new branch that you're trying to merge in, when they both changed, you will be doing a true merge. And if there's conflicts that occur, you have now 3 methods of resolving them. 1, edit the file manually. Option 2, use git merge tool, more specifically vimdiff or whatever merge tool you specify in your git config file. To specify your selected merge tool as vimdiff, you can use this line of code, git config merge.tool space vimdiff, and hit enter, and it will allocate your merge tool to open up vimdiff when it's called to do so. And of course, option 3, which is reverting to a GUI, which is absolutely fine, and I always recommend to do the method that you are most comfortable with, that will just get you the results that you want to. If you want to do that in a terminal, great. If you want to do that in a GUI, also great. And to be honest, that's it. Hopefully this video has helped you understand the merging process as a theory, as a concept, and actually how to do it, and then of course how to deal with those pesky conflicts that will arise, and to be honest, arise often when you're working in a team of multiple people working on the same code base. But that's the power that Git gives us. It enables us to work together as a team, and it enables us to merge our codes together with the tools that it's given us. And that, of course, is where Git merge comes in. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it's been somewhat helpful and of course made you feel a little bit more confident and a little bit more able to carry out Git merges in whatever way you see fit. Make sure that if you enjoyed this video and you want to continue watching this Git series as the videos are released, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon to be notified when new videos come out. Of course, if you have any questions at all about anything to do with Git, please reach out to me at my Twitter @Ben_Cadell. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Hopefully the idea or the theory of Okay, good. Okay, cool, we're getting there. That was 10 minutes. Okay. I think that's it.